Abby, good to see you. Big Social Security news. The COLA jumps 3.2%, but Medicare Part B is up 5.9%. The cost of living adjustment reflects another year of high inflation, but we now know that we'll be paying almost 6% more for Medicare Part B. Does this mean that we are going to see a smaller check in January?
So it stands to reason that a lot of people will think that their benefit or their income is actually going to go down because of the mismatch in the increases to both of these programs.
Hmm.
But if we think about it in terms of what the increase is on, Medicare premiums are, as far as monthly, are much smaller than most of your Social Security
Right.
monthly benefits. So even though Social Security is not going up as much as Medicare, you'll most likely see maybe not a big increase as such as last year, or excuse me, this year, but you'll see maybe a small increase, but there won't be a decrease for the majority of people unless you fall into one of those categories where you're paying even more for Medicare for income related reasons. You may see a decrease. So that's something to keep a lookout for as well.
Glad we got to talk that through. That is kind of misleading. Does this COLA affect when we should be claiming our benefits?
This is one of the most common misconceptions I find when I'm working with people on Social Security planning. So I have literally talked to people that claimed Social Security maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or something like that. It had been a while, and one of the reasons they did that was because they didn't want to miss out on the cost of living adjustments that
Mm,
were happening. And I had to break it to them that even if you're delaying your Social Security, you're getting delayed retirement credits, you're still getting that cost of living adjustment. You're not missing out on it. It's not one or the other if you're delaying your retirement benefits. So most of us know the longer you delay Social Security, the more you're going to get from it as far as a monthly benefit. You're going to maximize that monthly benefit. So right here, if we take this example at 62, this person will get $700 a month. If they wait until 70, they'll get 1240
yeah.
$1,240. That's a massive increase. And you don't miss out on the cost of living adjustments each year. So I don't want people to be misled and make decisions, really long-term decisions based on misconceptions, which we see a lot of. So don't worry if you're still waiting on your Social Security. You're going to be able to have that cost of living adjustment. So it's okay. You can still continue to wait.
And I know you specialize in helping people with those Social Security claiming strategies, but that's important to walk through, of course. So now let's hop into the not so great news. 2024 Medicare Part B will be 174.70, which is up 5.9%. That premium usually comes straight out of your Social Security check. Can you explain how this works, please?
Right. So for those of us that are already taking Social Security, Medicare premiums each month are just automatically deducted from your Social Security, and then whatever is remaining is sent to your checking account or wherever it goes. When those increases happen, the same thing happens. You don't have to send an additional check or anything like that. It'll just be, more will be deducted from your Social Security amount each month. However, if you fall into one of these categories, so if you're, for example, if you're married filing joint, if your modified adjusted gross income is over this limit here, so this $206,001, and it's a cliff. So literally, if you're $1 over this limit here, 206,000, you will have to pay the increased premiums.
Wow.
It's not like a sliding scale,
Right.
kind of like our tax brackets are. It really is that cliff. So we want to make sure that if we can, if you're really close to that limit, then we do some planning to hopefully get those premiums down. And then as your income increases, your premium will increase, but it's always 2 years looking back. So it's about as complicated as it can get. I don't know why they
Right.
make it so complicated, but that's what we're here for. So if it's confusing, if you don't know what in the world you're going to have to pay for Medicare each year, or how to avoid those increases that are based on your income, we can also help with that as well.
75% of people 50 plus worry that Social Security will run out in their lifetime. Does this COLA increase affect the program's solvency?
So it certainly could. Um, A couple of years ago, the trust fund was expected to be exhausted by 2035.
Right.
And another report was released, and it was 2034. And then another report was released earlier this year, and now it's 2033. So a lot of that does have to do with not only the cost of living adjustments that they don't have a choice on whether they make a cost of living adjustment to Social Security. It's all by law. They have to do that based on certain metrics. Same with Medicare increases. That's based on the increases in healthcare that they see down the road. So they have to make these increases, and they'll continue to have to make the increases as long as inflation is around, which it most likely always will be. So that date in the future of when the trust fund will be exhausted will most likely continue to go down. I guess there's certain things that could happen that would push the date back out, but I highly doubt that will happen.
Mhm.
So we need to be aware of the fact that at that point in time, it's not that Social Security is going to disappear or be bankrupt. We hear that a lot. That's not the case. There's going to be enough taxes funding the program to pay 75 to 76% of promised benefits. At that point in time, if changes are not made, then they're either going to have to cut everybody's benefits by to about 75% of what they're currently getting, or raise payroll tax from like 12% to 14-15%, or some kind of a combination of those two things. But the earlier that's done, the more effective that's going to be, and the less drastic changes have to occur. If we wait until the last minute to make those changes, they're going to have to be more drastic. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about it, but we can put a plan in place where if the worst happens, if you have to live on just 75% of your promised benefit, you're still going to be okay because you have other income streams.
Mhm.
So that's what we're doing right now. We're looking at our clients' income and assets, and making sure that if that actually does occur, they're still going to be okay. So they can sleep better at night knowing that if that what if happens, they're going to be able to continue to live the retirement they'd like to.
Right. Those changes seem pretty much inevitable. All right, Abby, we've covered a lot today: claiming strategies, Medicare. If somebody has questions about anything that we've talked about, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can always give us a call, 678-442-0255. Let us know what's on your minds, what you'd like to talk to one of our advisors about. And either Nanette or Vicky or Rebecca, one of them will be able to set up a call for you. Or you can visit our website at theretirementfamily.com. Send us a message. Let us know, again, what's on your mind. We'll have one of our staff reach out and schedule a call with you. Or you can look at all of our other resources. We have a lot of videos there, a lot of articles. So hopefully you can find what you're looking for on there.
All right, Abby, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.